the news just gets worse and worse by the day for them economically. And the Fed's doing what it should do, but it was very late to this party to try to get control over the amount of money circulating in our economy. So people are feeling that pain, but they're feeling it at the gas pump again. 1 year ago, the price of gas was 3.2. Now it's up to, I think, 3.87 as of today. I just took a look just because I know it was obviously lower under Trump. When Trump left office in January 2021, it was $2.40 a gallon. I mean, just think about that. You don't need an economist to walk you through that. You're already feeling it when you go and fill up your tank. So we're at almost back, pretty close to $4 a gallon again. This, as I haven't heard you guys talk about this yet, but the OPEC embarrassment after we went on bended knee back to the Saudis after we were going to make pariahs out of them. And instead we did a fist bump, right? But Joe Biden goes there saying, I got this. Goes and does a fist bump to try to help get out oil from the Saudis. We have plenty here at home. And so we humbled ourselves in front of the so-called pariahs and got absolutely nothing. All right. They wouldn't even take Biden's call. So then finally they have a fist bump moment. Biden comes back acting like some sort of a victor. And now we get the answer, which is not only are we not going to produce more, we're going to pull a couple million barrels from the current supply. And Joe Biden's saying, okay, maybe we'll just go to the Strategic Petroleum Reserve here in the United States. Okay, but the point is we have absolutely no heft internationally when it comes to our bargaining power. We've embarrassed ourselves. We have high gas prices, and we're actually looking at a winter where they're now saying it's going to be way more expensive to heat your home than it's been. There's already been a $300 uptick just from the 2021 winter, and it's expected to be $300 or more expensive this winter. What do you make of all that?
Well, we don't have to be in this position. And again, some of this was inevitable and is not Joe Biden's fault. It's the product of our coming out of COVID, all of the supply chain issues that we saw. It's quite difficult just to turn on energy production overnight, and the increase in demand as it interacts with supply, pushing up the price. But even if you accept that, which I do, you can judge the president on how he has responded to it. And he and his party are just not interested in taking advantage of the great blessings that the United States has with its natural resources. I mean, we have not taken advantage of the resources themselves. That's getting them out of the ground. And we haven't taken advantage of our ability to build refining capacity. A lot of the oil that we're pulling out of the ground in the United States, we're actually having to send to other places to refine. Now, that's a choice. It's a short-term choice and a long-term choice. We do not need to be using the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. It's not what it's for, to try to lower gas prices. We do not need to be going on bended knee to the Saudis or now to the Venezuelans. We don't need to be asking OPEC to help. In fact, if there's one thing we should have learned from the last 50 years, it's not to rely on OPEC after what happened in the 1970s. Yeah. If we were an island nation with very few natural resources, then our calculation would be different. But we're not. We're an enormous, blessed continental nation that can, if it wants to be energy independent, fully energy independent. We can pull out of the ground enough oil and refine it to keep cars going. And, this is a slightly separate topic, but we can create enough domestic energy, including nuclear, if we had the will, to never have to ask Saudi Arabia for help ever again. And what I think this has shown is that whatever one's view is on the question of energy and climate and the conservation of land, it is now abundantly clear, if it wasn't already, that the American public is not going to agree to go back in time or to forswear the Industrial Revolution. People like their modern comforts. Much of them that is necessary. Air conditioning's not optional, heating's not optional. But the demand for gasoline and for other energy is not going to go down. So we're going to have to get it from somewhere. And it should be the United States. It seems absolutely crazy to me that we're in this position. And much of that, again, in the short term and in the long term, is a choice.
And it's made at the very top. We were talking the other day about what consequence does the election of the president have? If you could have divided government, is gridlock enough to change to stop the Democrat big government agenda. And, this is a good example of how it might not be enough. It's better than what we have right now, which is just far left spending and policies being implemented at every level. But, whether we tap into our energy reserves, whether we spur big business in the energy industry into doing more and, drilling domestically and so on, that really is an executive level decision. So there's some things that would have to be undone before we could vote for gridlock. Have you ever had a friend or family member who's just naturally talented at things? They just pick up a sport or a hobby or a thing and they immediately become good at it. They make it look so easy. If you don't have that person in your life, it's you. And we're all secretly jealous of you. The good news is, no matter who you are, you can make great food look super easy with Good Ranchers. Good Ranchers sources the highest quality meat in America, and they can prove it. And by the way, you can get it like pre-seasoned, pre-marinated, so they make you look good with very little effort on your part. Each piece of Good Ranchers meat is from real American farms and hand-cut and trimmed by real American workers. They only source from farms that meet their high standards of excellence, which means no antibiotics ever, no added hormones. Good Ranchers is so confident in the quality they sell that they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee on every box they ship to you. Plus, you can use my code, MEGYN, Megyn, to get free shipping and $30 off your first order. This is America's best meat and seafood sold by some of America's best people. They have won awards like Best Food Subscription, but their mission remains the same, bringing everyone to the table to share in the best of what makes life good. If you want the best, go with Good Ranchers. Visit goodranchers.com/Megyn and save on American meat delivered right to your door. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.